Hi, I'm Michele Vieux with Invictus Fitness, and today we're going over 3 exercises you can do with no equipment: the stationary split squat, the snow angel, and the bear crawl.
Rotating to the hip.
New runner.
Alright guys, we're going to talk about the key to the universe right now, which is lunging. We're actually going to do a version of lunging called stationary split squats. So I know a lot of times when we're working out at home or in a hotel room, we don't really have a lot of room to be lunging around. Probably don't have a lot of equipment to use either. So these are really great exercise for the legs, the entire legs, but mainly with the focus on the hamstrings and glutes, that you can slow down, really slow tempo to make a strength movement. You can make them harder by elevating one leg and only using the one front foot to squat with, or you can make them more of a conditioning workout by turning them into a jumping lunge. Okay, so we're gonna start with our base movement, which is the stationary split squat. Besides all those other things you can use it for, it's really great, and I think everyone should be doing single leg movement more than, like, let's say regular squats where we'd set up with both legs in the same position. We want to do single leg because we're going to balance out any kind of differences between the two sides in strength, mobility, balance, coordination. Just a really great way to make sure everything's doing its share of the work. All right, now that we have learned the benefits of our single leg movement, which is today our stationary split squats, let's talk about getting into position and actually doing the reps for either a strength portion or a conditioning portion. So, like I mentioned, it is a squat, but we're going to offset our legs so that each leg is having to do its share of the work versus being locked into this position where you could kind of use one leg more than the other, and it's not growing, it's not benefiting, it's not getting more movement. Okay, so since it is a squat, we're going to start with our feet in squat stance. So it needs to stay this width, mostly for balance purposes. Okay, from there we're basically just going to lunge out. Okay, so that front leg is going to be in your lunge position, like the top of the lunge right before you start descending in that lunge. As we go down, I'm going to make sure I'm in that proper position. My knee needs to be right over the ankle. Okay, so we don't want the shin to go forward at all. It needs to be vertical. So a cue that I use that I think really helps is think of yourself as an elevator, so we're moving straight up and down, versus an escalator, which is moving like down and forward. Right? So I'm in my squat stance. I'm in a lunge squat stance now because I've stepped it out wider, and I'm in a nice and upright position. We're always talking about a few cues: tight glutes, tight SCAP. So I'm going to pinch my shoulder blades together, and I'm going to lower for 1, 2, 3, and then stand. 1, 2, 3, and then stand. Without weight, I would probably do somewhere in the 10 to 20 rep range per leg. And you guys, the bottom of the split squat is just like the bottom of the squat. We're striving to have the crease of our hip go below our knee, if your mobility allows you to do so safely. Okay, we never want to jam ourselves into a position that's not proper for us, but the ultimate goal would be crease of the hip below the knee. Okay, 1, 2, 3. If that's super easy for you and you don't have weight available but you want to make it a little bit harder, you're just going to elevate your back foot. And I'm using a box today. It's about knee height. It doesn't have to be a box. If you're in your hotel room, it could be a chair, it could be the edge of the bed. Really just anything that's around that knee height position. And you're going to set up in your squat stance with the lunge foot forward and then laces down on the box. Get into your nice upright position. 1, 2, 3, stand. 1, 2, 3, stand. And you might have noticed a little bit of wobble in my ankle. So this is one of the reasons why I really like this single leg movement. It really forces every part to stabilize. Maybe it's your hip, for me it's my ankles, but I'm really focusing on keeping that stability by driving the 3 points of pressure into the floor. So the ball of the foot, just the base of the pinky toe and the heel, all gripping down into the floor to help provide that stability. If you want to use this as more of a conditioning workout, you might have heard of a jump lunge, right? That's our base position, is the split squat for that. So now we're not doing a slow down, we're control down, but we're going to pop at the top and land in the other side forward on the lunge. Okay, so this is just our split squat, and now we're just jumping between the two, all the same points of performance, trying to go crease of the hip below the knee, chest nice and upright, but we're jumping between the positions. So 3 different versions for you guys to use in your gymless workouts. All right, you guys, we're gonna talk about some scapular work that you can do without any equipment. You don't need a band, you don't need dumbbells. All you need is yourself, a spot on the floor where you can lay down and move your arms in this range of motion. And the optional equipment is a towel or maybe like a really small pillow or something to put on your forehead as you're face down on the floor so that you're not face down on the floor, okay? SCAP work's really important to work in, a lot, especially if we're doing workouts without any weight. A lot of times we're resorting to pressing movements. We're doing push-ups, we're doing burpees, we might even be able to do some dips on a bench or something. But we need to counteract all that pressing because it tightens up all of our chest muscles and it doesn't really focus a lot on the upper back muscles. So then we end up in this position that a lot of us are in anyway because we sit a lot or we're on our phones, all right? So we really should be doing 2 times the work on the back side that we are on the front side. So every single day you need to get some sort of pulling movement if you do have equipment, so like pull-ups or dumbbell rows or something. Or if you don't have equipment, working in something like we're gonna do snow angels today, but there's a ton of other weightless exercises you can do for the upper back and scapular muscles, okay? Keeping those strong is going to keep you healthy, okay? It's gonna keep your spine in alignment, and your spine has all the nerves coming out of it that signal all parts of the body. So if your spine's not in alignment, and a lot of times it's people's upper back, those signals aren't getting to where they need to go as quickly as they should, or they might be getting blocked. So if you're getting like tingles in your fingers, or you know, pain somewhere in your neck or other parts of your body, it could be that your posture is out of alignment. So this exercise is really great. I would work it into your strength portion as one of the stations, or just hit it up as some supplemental work after your workout, okay? And usually we're looking for about a 60-second time range of it, or somewhere in the 10 to 20 rep range. I find that this station makes me sweat more than any other station because you're focused on all these tiny little muscles around the shoulder blades, okay? So from like that top part down and around, squeezing them really tight and keeping those shoulder blades pinched into those muscles, the whole range of motion, it's a lot of work to do, okay? The one thing we don't want to use on this is the upper trap muscle. So if you feel this start to happen, you're just going to shorten your range of motion until you can control that muscle, okay? We use this all the time. We're trying to deactivate that, detrain that, and train all the little muscles around the rest of the shoulder blade to do the work. So I'm going to use my towel, I just folded it up, and I'm going to lay down, face down here, and I'm going to demonstrate it standing first because it'll be hard to hear me when my face is down on the floor demonstrating, okay? So pretend I'm face down on the floor. I'm going to bring my arms up overhead, and I'm going to go thumbs up. And here I'm going to lock everything into like an overhead position. So see how I pull down on the lat muscles. Okay, that's getting my shoulders locked in. And then I'm going to squeeze in place. So right when I squeeze in place, I can feel that pinch in the top part of the shoulder blade. So when my arms are here, I feel the pinch in the top part of the shoulder blade. And I'm going to slowly, about this tempo, it should take like 3 to 5 seconds to get down. I feel it in the middle of the shoulder blade here. My thumbs go from the up position to kind of out to the front. And then as I go down, the pinch goes down lower in my shoulder blade. And I'm gonna bring my hands behind my back if I can, okay? Some of you guys won't be able to do that. That's fine. You're gonna shorten your range of motion just like you would overhead if your traps are taking over. If you get down here, and this is as far as you can go, then that's fine. That's as far as you can go today. But each rep that you do, you're gonna try to push that range of motion even just a teeny bit more. You see those 2 reps at that tempo took me probably close to 15 seconds. So a minute's only gonna be maybe 12 to 15 reps if you're following that tempo. And I'm actually starting to sweat right now just from those 2 reps, okay? So the focus on this, like I said, is the upper back, around the shoulder blades, You can relax your lower half of the body, put all of your energy and focus into keeping those shoulder blades pinched together and feeling that pinch go down and up between the blades. All right guys, time to talk about one of my favorite movements for weightless workouts. So body weight only, bear crawl, or as we like to refer to them here at Invictus, robotic dogs, okay? So there's a couple of points of performance, and I'll talk to you in a minute and show you why we call them robotic dogs versus a bear crawl. But we're gonna basically start in our push-up position with our knees bent a little bit, and I'll show you that setup in just a minute, okay? Everything like the push-up or the plank should be the same on that upper half of the body. So we're really tight, we're screwing the shoulders into place, elbow pits are gonna be forward, we're gonna stack the arms as much as possible on the supporting hand, okay? So we are gonna be moving one arm forward at a time, but the weight that we're supporting with needs to be stacked just like if we were doing a plank on one arm or a push-up, okay? And then otherwise, we're gonna move very slow and methodically, all right? We're not doing bear crawls for time. We can do them for perfect position instead, okay? This is gonna be a full body workout. I'll put these in a strength portion, I'll put it in a conditioning portion, but like I said, we're not gonna rush the movement. So if it is in a conditioning portion, I actually think it's better to go for a certain amount of time than for a distance, because you're not so tempted to try to just like get there as fast as you can with bad form, your butt in the air, tumbling over the line, okay? So 30 to 60 seconds is pretty challenging for a lot of people. If you're short on space, you can go forwards and backwards with these, so you don't even have to turn around, okay? And the backwards adds a little bit more of a coordination challenge for people. So let's get set up on the floor. We'll show you what the bear crawl / robotic dog means to us, okay? All right, so like I said, we're gonna set up, let's start in a plank position, or the top of that push-up position. The shoulders stacked over elbows over wrists. My hands are gripping the floor, and then I'm going to bring my knees up slightly. Okay, these are still behind the hips. If you bring them up too far, your back's gonna be rounded and you're not gonna be able to maintain the flat back, solid position that we're looking for. So you're just gonna make sure that they're back just behind the hips, okay? And then we're gonna work on our coordination here, and we're gonna move the opposite hand and opposite foot. And notice my steps aren't that big. I'm chop, chop, chop. This is where the robotic dog comes in. Okay. My knees are staying forward. A lot of times we'll see people doing this. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for the knees forward, chop, 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 short on space, backwards, backwards, backwards. Adds a whole nother level of coordination. So basically I'm doing like a moving kind of plank position here. Every part of my body's working and I'm getting my heart rate up. Love the bear crawl. Try to incorporate it as much as possible.